Hi there, my name is Kendrick, and today I get to interview Jake. So, Jake, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Good man. Can you tell us your full type, please?
I am a ESFP jumper, specifically double masculine, SETE, play, consume, blast, sleep, blast.
All right. And when you get your results back, what did you think and how did you feel?
I was kind of just ready for anything. I was just waiting to get the actual labels because I didn't I was thinking that it would help me better understand typing, which it did a lot. And I wanted to once I knew, where my weaknesses were, I could just start attacking them, try and build up on those problems. So I was like, yeah, give it to me, and then I started making a plan to do just that.
All right. So you let's go over your parts. Your first animal is the most interesting actually, because your first animal is play. It's double activated and it's double masculine. So it's like the most abusive first animal that it could possibly be.
How
Yeah.
true that is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yours not a little bit spread out, but okay, let's talk about that though. How do you feel knowing that your first animal is massively abusive, in terms of like you overly using it? Because it's double masculine, not just double activated.
I mean, honestly, I'm not really surprised. I'm just like, yeah, I do. And people tell me that I have a lot of presence. So it's like when I'm walking into the room and I'll be like introducing myself and saying hi to people, you can hear it. I'm really loud. So it's like, and I do know that some people find it abrasive. Probably a lot of people. And but I don't know, that's who I am. I don't think I'm really concerned about doing less play as far as compared to just doing more sleep because I like what I'm doing. Like I feel like I'm doing so much useful stuff in the play space, but I really want to try and figure out how to get in touch with that, like meditative side of things in the sleep and be more self-reflective because I definitely make the same mistakes more often than I'd like.
All right. Well, we'll get to that as we go along this interview.
Hmm.
Um, your play is also SETE,
Hmm.
so it's getting things done essentially. Like doing energy. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Um, I would say that you know, I find it kind of strange because I always think of myself as such a lazy person. So I don't think of myself as actually doing that much stuff, but I guess on the spectrum, yeah. And I think that a lot of it is actually a problem because I'm so about doing the stuff that I don't care about that whole NF vibe. Like, I don't care about the vibe. I don't care about other people's feelings. Let's just do the thing. And why aren't you working? Why aren't you helping everybody else get it done? Is what I think to other people when they're not, doing the SCETE thing as well. So it's like, when I'm going, I just keep on doing the thing. And if you're not doing the thing with me, it's like, what's wrong with you? Because I'm not paying any attention to the whole feelings game, or I guess the vibe game. So that's what I'm doing, and that's kind of the issues that I run into.
All right. So my next question is perfect segue to this. So you are a double decider, number one. And number two, you have consume savior and your consumes SF. And part of consume is having external self-awareness. So you know how you come across to people, essentially, especially because you have it as savior. So when you're doing that aggressive ST play, then the consume kicks in next. How does it make you feel? You're like, ah shit, I'm being too aggressive. Like when does that kick in?
Honestly, this is a weird thing because I never get the feeling that I'm going too hard. Okay. Um, and I don't really get, um, like, I want to learn things, but it's like I want to learn things just so that I can keep on going back into that play. Okay. So it's like, oh, I'm trying to do stuff. and then I ran into an issue that I need to resolve before I can continue playing. So give me that information. And then once I have it, it's just right back into it, you know? So I don't even end up being I think in the place where I should be, where it's like I'm recognizing the backlash, like what you're talking about, the kind of awareness with the tribe. I feel like I have less of that perhaps than average, because I'm just not really concerned. I mean, I am concerned about it, but I'm not able to interpret it properly without the FE. You know, like I don't know where I'm valued at there, if that makes sense.
Okay, okay, got it. Um, yeah, I guess it's still a sleep last problem. Okay,
Mm.
so back to the consume though. Your consume SF, it's like what's popular, what's cool in the physical world. On your spare time, how are you doing that consume? Like that, you know.
Honestly, most of that I think is just eating. I love food, so I love trying all kinds of stuff. Um, I think that's like one of the main ways: eating, drinking. I love experimenting in all of those ways. So there's a lot of that, but I also kind of like I like to try different strategies in games I'm playing. I think that's kind of also it. Like I'm seeing, oh, does this work? Does that work? And I think it's like I'll think that an idea is cool, so I'll try different ways to try it out, and I get bored easily if I have to do the same thing over and over. So a lot of it is I'm just trying to have a new experience uh, while I'm playing. But I think a lot of the consume is literally food, literal
Yeah.
consuming.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're still an EP. You still like to, channel change. You don't want the same of the, over and over again. You get bored. Um, let's cover your third animal here. It's NT Blast. So it's very similar to the INTJ's Blast. And um, it's taking your known information in the abstract world, specifically, maybe communicating big picture plan to the tribe or something like that. Can you talk about that a little bit? You do have it activated, so I'm guessing you're going to be using it to some extent.
Yeah, I actually I actually end up using it quite a bit because I'm a minister, so I'm often teaching people various things. So I feel like I can seem at times, like once I get into the blasting state, I feel like I end up being a little more blasty than you, just because I've got a lot of practice doing it, and I feel honestly really comfortable just like as far like I know a common thing with consuming is like it has to be perfect, and it has to you got to take it all in first, and then you've got to go before you actually make it and build something. But for me, I think it's because they're so close, I'm able to just kind of do stuff. And I think that's where, you know, the whole thing about being extroverted with play and blast in the top is like you're willing to just go out there and do things without giving it too much thought. I mean, I think about it, but I end up teaching a lot of stuff and explaining a lot of stuff to people, but mostly just conclusions that I've had, and people often come to me for advice on things, so I'll share them, because I have all the data. I collected it SE, and then I'll be like, well, here's what you need to do.
All right, dude. Let's jump into the last one here. NF sleep. You said that you definitely have the same pattern of bad things happening to you over and over again, and you don't seem to learn your lesson. Can you talk about that a
Mhm.
little bit? Your sleep is also double feminine, so it makes it even harder.
Yeah. So I don't even know what's going on with that dude, honestly. But I noticed that I have recurring tidal waves of people saying that they don't like something I'm doing or something about me or whatever. And so I think that's just again because I'm not thinking about social values or whatever. And I'm often a vibe wrecker type of person. So, I'll just say stuff and everybody's vibe is dead. And I don't even realize I'm doing this. So it's another thing that can add to that abrasiveness that you were talking about earlier, right? Is it's just what is it? And I just don't stop. I just want to keep going and doing more and more stuff and not really thinking about things. So this is just something that keeps happening. It keeps happening that I'm not paying enough attention to when people are not valuing something as well. So it's like, well, oh well, I can't tell the vibe is wrong. I'm just gonna keep going.
Right. Part of NF sleep is, or what I've noticed is that a lot of individuals that do have that specific function stack, regardless of the type, INTJ, ENTJ, or ISFP, is you guys tend to have a code that you adhere to, like a personal code. Okay, it's
Mm.
abstract. It's like a saying. It could be a quote or whatever. Um, do you personally have one? And if you don't, what kind of code would you like to adhere to if you were to make one for yourself?
So I definitely would say that I have a code, as it were, because I'm a Christian, so I follow whatever it says in the Bible. So I follow that pretty rigidly, and it's mostly kind of principles that are in there to follow. But there are some laws, and I don't go beyond those laws. I just do exactly what it says.
Is there a specific quote that really resonates with you that you really adhere to personally?
Resonates. Probably Proverbs 3:27, I think. And it says, "Don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today."
Oh, that's seriously what it is?
Yeah,
Oh wow, okay. That's like extrovert sensing right there. That's
yeah. I mean, man, do it. It says, "What do you mean, sleep? You get out of there."
yeah.
Oh man. But there's another one that says, "Hey, a handful of rest is better than two handfuls of hard work and striving after the wind." That's in Ecclesiastes. But it's like you can keep working, but don't work and work and work. You need a handful of rest and a handful of hard work.
I
So I need to be more balanced in that way. But I don't know. The Proverbs one speaks to me because I'm all about do it now. Why not do it later? Just do it now. And but honestly, sometimes it gets in the way of rest that I need.
how old are you by the way?
I'm 27.
Oh yeah, you're still young. You can get away with it.
A
Yeah,
child, yes.
yeah, yeah. But like yeah, you won't feel until you get to mid 30s. That's when it hits you, and then you're like,
Ooh,
yeah.
no, I'm dreading it. I'll
Mhm.
have to actually stop and be forced to sleep. Oh man.
Yep, I'm fellow sleep last. I get it, but yeah, when I
Uh,
hit mid 30s, I was like, my body my body tells me, yo man, can't do this anymore. I'm like, shit. Okay, yeah, you're right.
you know what people have been telling me is that like a good way, because you're talking about getting physically exhausted, right? A good way to get actually into that NF sleep state is by burning yourself out physically. Like just do intense exercise or whatever until your body's done, and then it's like, oh, you have no choice but to sleep. So I'll think about that.
Yeah, I think we're a little bit different in that sense because you have extrovert sensing, so it's a lot
Yeah.
of physical energy. But for me, it's NE, so it's more mental. And
I
yeah, I have to burn myself up mentally because I can do like a crazy ass 12-hour hike, come back,
mm,
and I still won't be able to sleep if I'm mentally not drained. So
I see, I see, I
it's,
see.
it's a little bit different. But yeah, I get what you're saying. For you guys, that would definitely work.
Yeah, that's for me. But that's interesting to note that that for you it's about mental draining. So that's a nice pattern. Okay, I like that.
Yeah. So if you have buddies that have any,
Mm. Uh-huh, I do. So, there we go.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's 50% chance, right? So it's not like there's a very high chance everyone has a friend that has an any. But
Yes.
anyhow, um,
They've got it somewhere.
yeah, I do think you can get away with what you're doing right now until your mid 30s. So you should abuse it until then. Like
Yes, that's right. Let's go hard.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I
exactly, yeah,
can't stop.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like it's also with like bad food too. You can get away with eating like bad food right now.
Mm.
So yeah,
Oh
for
yes.
me, I'm like do it until you can't get away with it anymore. Then,
Man.
then, then when you look back, you're like, you know what? Had my time, So
I know. That's the thing, right? It's like my doctor is always like, why is your heart so good? Why are you so I'm just young. It's all gonna
yeah. As long as you have in the back of your head that you're like, it's gonna come, and when the time comes, you need to know you need to stop. Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep. Okay.
Um, okay, cool. Let's talk about you being masculine TE. So do you perceive the tribe as a threat?
No, but this is I think kind of the problem because I don't think of the thrive and I thought a lot about this by the way. Because I usually like masculine DE is known for like punching out, attacking the tribe, right? But that's like I don't think of the tribe as a threat because I'm masculine lead play and masculine SE. I literally and I'm huge, okay, like not super huge, but I'm 6'3", so I'm like bigger than most people. Like the tribe is not a threat, and if anybody punches at me, I punch harder, okay? They get destroyed. And people have told me that when I have like an idea that I don't like or something, that I just brutally eviscerate it mentally. So it's like the tribe isn't a threat to me because I'm going to destroy them. But that's the problem, is I just end up destroying the tribe.
Yeah.
Uh,
What if the person is not physically threatening, but they're more like emotionally threatening? They're like, let's say an INFJ who's
mm,
manipulating your behavior without you even knowing. You know, they're like doing some kind of conjuring with their NIFE that you're not even aware of because it's so subtle.
Now that is interesting. I don't really fear that happening, but I know that I have been manipulated in the past. I think I'm really susceptible to that, honestly. Just because again, I'm not tracking it and I don't know like when people are really trying to manipulate a lot of the time. Because I like it may be apparent to other people more vibe attuned, but I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, I'll do whatever. I'm just trying to make it work for everybody and not realize that, oh, this person is trying to make it work by making me all do all the work and they do nothing. So, I don't know.
I think that's the biggest weakness of the ESFP archetype,
Hmm.
getting manipulated or tricked by the tribe.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I can't tell. I can't tell when I'm being manipulated. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always surprised. I'm like, this doesn't this person know they're getting tricked?
Yeah.
I guess not. Um,
Nope.
yeah,
Oblivious.
yeah. I guess that's why you guys have the physical prowess because you got to make it up somewhere, right? You know?
I guess.
Yeah,
We'll try.
yeah. I mean, obviously, this is like that person has to be really sinister to do that. I don't think most people are sinister. Most people are good.
Hmm. But
Okay.
it is interesting, like that hasn't happened in a while. And I think so interestingly enough, most people think like they're the vibe I guess they get from me is actually that I'm DI. Most people thought I was DI. Actually, everybody thought I was DI because I think that my past experience with manipulation has just left me jaded enough to say I'm sick of everybody and I'm not taking it anymore. So now it's like as soon as I although it's hard for me to detect, like if I do detect somebody's just, not being fair and trying to manipulate people, they're gonna get punched. Either, whatever, emotionally or physically or something, right? I'm gonna come at them and attack them for that. So it's like it seems like it's like no, I'm just doing me, but really I'm helping everybody by attacking people that I don't like. In some weird way.
Yeah. Well, I guess you can't anymore. You're a minister now, so
I,
yeah.
oh, hey, we're not pacifist.
Let's talk about you being info dominant.
Hmm.
Obsession with accuracy of information. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Um, I think that yeah, that's the whole thing with again being like sleep last. That whole I guess the kind of the vibe sharing that people do when they're energy dom. I'm like, okay, but this isn't what I asked. Like I'm trying to get information to allow me to play more, and people don't give me exactly what I want, so that's a frustrating thing. But I'm always trying to clarify the information, and I'm really making it ST clear all the time. And so it's frustrating a lot when actually what really drew me into trying to get deeper into personalities was I had a conversation with someone, and I was like, I'm now looking back and I'm like, oh, they're NF and energy dom. But it's like I'm having a conversation with someone and I'm like, they're literally not saying anything and not answering my questions. What is going on here? Like, how is this person even existing in this manner? This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's I really want to like better study over time how I can learn to be more energy aware at least. But as of right now, I am a facts man. Give
Yeah.
me the information, and I'm an observer, so there you go. And I care about that information.
I think that NF is okay if the person's info dominant, because
Mm,
they'll back it up with some ST, which is good, you know. Yeah, you were about to say something?
no, I'm just agreeing because I'm thinking about the conversation is like, man, oh, it's just cancer.
Yeah.
But
I'm pure NF with no ST, I think is bad. But I think NF with ST, like, they have it, let's say first and third, it's okay, I think. Because they'll back it up with like the ST, Like I went to acupuncture yesterday, and the acupuncture person that I went to is my first time going. It's like
mm.
very woo woo, it's pseudoscience, right? You know, yeah. But the person was info dominant, so I was like, oh, this person's explaining to me the stuff.
Okay.
It's like, okay, you know, this is your energy, blah blah blah. Which is kind of like, okay, woo. But then she'll explain, it's like, okay, when the color of your skin after cupping is this color, it means circulation is off or something. I'm like, oh, there we go. We got some facts going on. So
It's
so
good.
I think it's okay with NF with that's info dominant, but NF
Mm.
with like ST last, I'm like, oh, that's rough. You know?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Oh man. It's terrible, I'm telling you. But I'm sure that somebody Energy Dom would have loved having that conversation. But I was like, this is illegal.
No, they do. I've seen it. I've seen like double activated NF blast with double activated NF consume. They just like hit it off, you know.
Mm.
One person's blasting about NF, one person's consuming NF, so it's like perfect, right? But for me, I'm like, you guys are not getting anywhere. Like your life is exactly where it was before, because there's no ST to to prove what you're trying to say, So it's not.
Exactly. Nothing happened. Nobody learned anything. Nobody was benefited by this conversation.
Well,
Why did
they felt better in the moment. They felt better in the moment.
it Is that really all they care about? Oh, these energy dumps. No.
No, of course not. Of course not.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just
All right.
triggering.
Yeah, I can see you're triggered by that.
Uh,
Uh, Someone could prank you for your birthday or something, like surround you with all NFs.
uh,
Because
uh,
you can't punch them because they're being nice, but
mm,
you just don't know what they're saying.
yeah. Oh, it's like, no. What? What do you explain that to me? Tell me what happened. And it's just like, no, I won't.
Yeah, or they'll be like, "I thought I just explained it to you," you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's literally what it is. I did explain to you. Didn't you hear me when I said wah wah wee whoa and whatever else? Did you hear all those weird feeler bird chirping stuff? Man, uh,
That's
I
gonna be that's gonna be my new thing. That's how I'm gonna describe NF. Wow,
don't
wow, we whoa.
know.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. You heard it
I
here, guys.
I
Like
hear NF like they're Charlie Brown's parents. Okay, that's what I'm hearing.
they're just
Oh
like
man.
murmuring.
Yeah, it's like wah 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 wah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, there's no details. There's no. I don't know. I need to overcome this.
What if they accuse you of being shallow because you're NF last, right? So NF is deep shit, right? You know?
What does it mean to be shallow? Is what I would ask them, and they won't be able to even explain that to me because they can't. I
Well,
don't even. Oh,
I'm being the devil's advocate here, right? So maybe it's
yeah,
not like they can't, but maybe you don't know the vibe, so you won't understand even if they try to elaborate.
man. You know what? If I'm shallow, if this is what shallowness is, you know what? I'm on the surface because this is where it's at. If you want to be buried underground, that's your prerogative. I'm trying to enjoy life up here in the sun. Actually, I don't like the sun, but up in, the surface world, it's good.
All right, that's interesting. For the record, I do believe in the NF though. I have it third, so I
Oh,
believe.
we've got it right. It all means something. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I believe in it, but I do filter it first before I take it in. I have to make sure it's not there's good NF and BS NF, right? So I have to make sure it's like the good NF, not the BS NF.
Mm.
I think the best way to distinguish if what that the NF person is saying to you is like legit or not. Don't listen to the wee wah whatever. They look at the person, and if their life is good, they're happy, they're solid, then you can listen to them because clearly it's doing something good, right? But if they're a freaking mess, no, this NF is crap. Just throw it out of the window. Like
Mm.
look at the person, and that's how I see it. If their life is good, but you don't know what they're saying, I think they're onto something. You know,
I see.
yeah,
Okay. I like that strategy. Next time someone wah wah wee woos, I'll say like, okay, what's their life actually
yeah,
like?
exactly.
All right. Should
Yeah,
I keep listening or swerve out the way? Okay, we'll
yeah,
figure it. I'm gonna
yeah.
try it. I'm gonna try
Because
it.
because if their life is good, hey, I think there's something to learn. Like this person knows something you don't, and time to be a student in this situation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay. I like it. I like it.
yeah, yeah.
I'll
Sweet.
do that.
All right, dude. Let's talk about you being double masculine. Kinesthetic and audio. Talk about being kinesthetic first. Like doing things with your body, hands, sports, whatever. Like,
Honestly, I'm not as familiar with the sexuals and how they all work and stuff. So I don't know what I could say. I mean, what is kinesthetic supposed to be?
you're good at moving your body. Like you have good body control. You know how to, you know, um, you tend to get strong really quickly. A lot of double masculine, they get strong really quickly. So if you were to lift weights, you get pretty strong really quickly. Um, you just have good control of the physical world. Like you can, like if you watch people who are like in MMA, when they punch, they kick, they know how to dodge, they know how to punch, they know how to hit. They can do it with precision. They can do it with finesse. You know, it's not like
Mhm.
someone that has bad kinesthetic. Like they have no body control. Like you try to make someone do a squat or something, and they can't squat properly, or they can't like they're doing an exercise. They just can't move their body properly, like the way you should be moving it. Um,
Yeah, so that's the thing though. I don't feel that way at all. Like I don't know, I'm not good at moving my body and I never move my body and this may just be because of I don't know, early introduction to video games. So I'm just like,
oh,
oh, so much better. But I'm not a even when it comes to that, like I'm not a I don't know what the word is. Um hmm hmm where you're really good at precision. I'm a tactical player. Like I'm not actually good at doing stuff that's technical. So for example, I play Rocket League, but I really don't have what they call good mechanics. Which is, again, it's all about precision. I'm all about strategy. So I don't know if I'm effectively doing that, but what that does tell me is if I were to actually try and do stuff in the physical world, I'd be good at it. I remember I was on a hike, let's see, maybe, a few months ago, which I just started hiking, okay, like a year ago, because I was like, oh, I should probably do some exercise. And I realized like I didn't even really understand how to walk properly. So I started thinking about and like I'm literally consciously trying to control my muscles and stuff while I'm doing it. So if what you're saying is correct, then if I continue to apply this, I will be really good. But as of right now, I'm not there.
I watched a video before showing like how sad it is for adults who never exercise a lot when they were young, because there's apparently some things that you can only learn when you're young, like physical wise.
Hmm.
And when you get to adulthood and you never learn like, sports like catching, running, all that stuff, apparently you have a lot more trouble catching up. And you said that you had early introduction to video games.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, me too. I got introduced to video games really young, but I also played a lot of sports when I was young. So I did both. So in that case, I never lost it. I have I'm audio kinesthetic, so I still have the kinesthetic stuff.
Hmm.
But I do see that people who did not do that physical stuff when they were young are paying the price when they're older. So that could be it for you, you know.
I see. Yeah, because I never did anything uh physical. It was just video games. That was my whole life for first, I don't know, 27 years. How about that?
Yeah, just all of it, right? But
Yep.
yeah, okay. I think that's what happened to you. I think it's something else. Like, like you didn't do it when you were young, so you got screwed as you got older.
Mm,
Yeah.
I believe it.
What about the audio side? Are you good with like music and pitch and
Yeah, actually, I didn't realize this until I started talking about it, but people, so when I can really acutely envision sounds, and I can hear everything, uh like, I don't know, I guess not everyone can do this, but it's like when I hear a sound, or like I can think of a whole song, like, and including all of the subtle elements of it, and just basically play it in my head as if it was playing in real life. Like, I don't need to listen to a song. What I usually do when I find a song I like is I listen to it like 100 times or something, memorize it, and then I can just play the song whenever I want in my head. And also, when I hear music, I like autocorrect it, if that makes any sense. It's like, because I think they made the song worse than it could have been. So when I play it back in my head, it's better than the original. So I don't even like listening to a lot of music because it's like it's bad. And like I'm making it better as I'm thinking about it. And then I just play the better version. So
yeah.
uh, but I'm very musically inclined, and I love music. I don't put time into it though. I just don't have time. But if I had for some reason an extra, who knows, just an hour a week, I'd love to take up an instrument. I only have 10 minutes to do a week right now. I do piano for 10 minutes a week.
Better than nothing.
It is.
Yeah. Maybe because of how you didn't do any physical stuff, it all went to your audio instead. Your audio
Mm,
got super enhanced as a result of the physical side getting thrown under the
maybe.
bus essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool, Jake. I think I've asked you all the questions already. So I'm gonna ask you two last questions and we'll wrap up the interview, okay?
Okay.
The first one is in regards to your fourth function, your triggering function, which is your NI. It's feminine also. How do you get triggered by the NI essentially, like the feminine NI? Like what triggers you?
I have no idea. And this is a weird thing. Like, honestly, I thought I was doing pretty good at NI, and I don't know what NIs usually get triggered by. So, maybe you have an idea of a pattern of what they're usually having a problem with, and maybe I can give some insight on that.
I can give you a few, yeah. So ESFPs and ESTPs, for example, like the NI is the enemy, the system, like the government, is out to get you. Like they use that Jesse Ventura. I think he's double masculine, like he's hiding in Peru or some shit, because like he thinks the government is out to kill.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Um,
that's just one example though, but
yeah. No, I don't have any of that. I love government. I love organization, as far as hierarchies and stuff like that. I'm all into big business. Uh, so I don't think I have really that, you know, fear of being controlled by higher ups type of thing that people would have. Um, so no, but yeah, I just honestly I
Oh,
really appreciate those things.
okay. I think I know what could possibly trigger you. So I don't think you're triggered by that because you have blast activated. I think it's the blast last ESFPs or ESTPs that will get triggered by that. The systems
Mm,
have to control us. That's because your consume is overactive. Someone needs to, you know, put parameters around you, but you don't have
mm,
that problem, right? And you're also tribe above self. So you're like, yeah, that's fine. It's a give or take kind of society. It is what it
mm.
is. But I think what would trigger you is a super selfish person, like super, super selfish person that just
It
has
would
no problem screwing people over uh, because they're all about themselves.
that would trigger me. Yeah, and I have been like, and it's funny, right? I once saw a YouTube short for like, 20 seconds and I just wanted to kill the person. So I was like, I will definitely get triggered very easily by extreme selfishness.
Yeah,
So yeah.
someone that's like really full of themselves, right? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. But what about it triggers you? I'm curious. So this you need to
I mean, the person is not bringing any value to society, so they're worthless. There's if somebody is only caring about themselves, there's no benefit to their existence. So they should just die. That's it. And
okay,
I'll help you. I'll help you die to benefit society. How about that?
very morbid. Um, why does the person need to
It's all
benefit
good.
society?
Huh?
Why does the person need to benefit society?
Why do they need to benefit society?
Yeah, they're just doing their
Okay.
own thing. They're just a person doing their own thing, right?
No, 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 no. Okay. That's not how it works. Nobody is really just a person by themselves. You can't give birth to yourself. So you're already indebted eternally to your parents. And on top of that, the whole system that you live in has contributed to your ability to, grow up and become this person. And you need to, in turn, support the system. So if you don't feel any need to give anything back to the world that allowed you to exist, you don't deserve to exist.
What if they're doing like just the bare minimum?
What do you mean, the bare minimum?
Let's say this person that's super selfish is like, let's say a big shot CEO or something. They'll be like, yeah, I pay my employee, so I'm gonna do whatever I want. It's my life. Like,
Okay. Well, a big shot CEO has provided jobs to probably thousands of people,
yeah,
and that's
exactly.
great.
Yeah,
That's fantastic. No, I, I mean, they've benefited society.
yeah, but they're super egotistical, full of themselves. You're cool with that then? That's fine.
It is what it is. Honestly, I think that people who are really high up, with actual power, like there's that saying, power corrupts absolute, power corrupts absolutely. I think that people with a lot of power, will inevitably, suffer from some kind of that, but they're also not wrong when they think they're awesome because they are awesome. It's the people who inordinately think that they're awesome, who inordinately, like if you were nobody and you thought that you were just the best thing ever, everybody bow down to me, and you've never done anything. Like these people have usually built up businesses and that took lots of work. And you don't get to that point by thinking you're the best all the time. You have to make sacrifices and you have to work with people in order to build a business. So if you end up getting corrupted later, honestly, I expect that. But look at what you've built in the meantime. But if you're nobody and just doing nothing and you still think that you're awesome, That's triggering to me.
I see. Okay. Okay. What if it's like Wolf of Wall Street? You know, like the person
I haven't
built it
seen it.
from. Okay. Well, I'll give you a quick gist. Basically, you built it from the ground up and you did help people, like your employees, but you screwed everyone else over by scamming the hell out of everyone. But you benefited yourself and your employees. So you provide value for your employees and for yourself, but everyone else got screwed over. But you started from nothing. You were self-made. You're just a scammer, you know?
Man, no, scammers trigger me. So it's like that's the whole thing again, right? It doesn't matter that you benefited other people. It's like how did you do it? Because you can't benefit society by winning at the expense of someone else in a complete way. Uh and I think that like if you actually are getting profit by lying to people and by you know misusing whatever funding that someone gave you, like if you're a business, you're providing a service. So if you're not providing that service and you just line the pockets of you and your employees with due to dishonest or fraudulent practices, that also is you have not benefited society. So when I'm talking about big business benefiting society, I'm talking about you've done something, you've made a product or a service that is actually useful and is helping people and created jobs, and then you're helping people out. But if you're trying to scam people, I mean, no.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. So Amazon's okay, but not someone like that that's scamming, everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right. All right, cool, Jake. We'll wrap up the interview here. So thanks for coming out and sharing more about your life. And I like your little spiel there about the wee wee whoa whoa, that's gold right there.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
so yeah, take care, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you
All
around
right.
soon.
You too. Thanks for taking the time.